Welcome again, everyone. My name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today, I'm going to be going over Canva 201 with you guys. So, if you have not yet attended Canva 101, you may want to start there. It is going to go over how to set up your new KW Canva account if you haven't, as well as like some of the beginner steps on making sure things are connected and working within that account. Um, and just really kind of getting started with that, okay? So this is Canva 201. Um, First thing we want to do is make sure we are in our new Canva account, okay? So again, should have already hopefully set up that account. There's not a lot of setting up to do. You just kind of need to log in and accept some of the prompts, the terms and conditions, things like that that pop up. You'll also want to make sure you connect a few apps and profiles so that you are good to start pulling in those from command, okay? So if you've not yet been to Canva, the new KW Enterprise accounts, the website to access your new KW Enterprise account is going to be canva.kw.com. Okay. So if you're just going to canva.com, it's going to take you to a generic KW um, platform. However, if you've already logged in, you should be able to toggle between those accounts here under this little icon. Okay, so if you do go to canva.com and you're in a personal account, you should be able to toggle over to your KW account if it's already been kind of set up. Okay, all right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So on our previous one-on-one class, we kind of go over creating a flyer. Today, we're going to go over maybe creating a postcard, possibly a reel. Creating postcard, we'll also talk about how to take that postcard and move it into command to give you an idea of how that process works. If you're interested in sending direct mailers using the command platform, that would be a great way to utilize that, okay? So a couple of basic things. Once you're in Command, you of course have your home screen, or in Canva, I said Command. Once you're in Canva, you of course have your home screen. You can close this menu by clicking the little three lines. This is going to let you see these other options over here. So if you're not seeing those, you may want to expand this, okay? Under the home screen, you can see some of your recent designs that you've utilized. You can search for designs. You can find templates, use the Canva AI. You can sort designs that you're looking for based on the different types of designs that you can create within the Canva account. Moving down, you're also going to have your projects. So not only can you get to it up here, you can also get to it here. Okay, so these are your previous recently used designs. You can also create folders in here, which is a great way to keep your Canva organized, especially if you are creating and using a lot of different content pieces within here. Okay, so great way to create folders, star different items that may be favorites and that may be using frequently. You should also have three little lines. That's going to allow you to make copies, move those, download them. You can, of course, always share them as well. Okay. You can also sort them based on these different items, type, category, owner, date modified. You can search as well. Okay. Over here on the left, you can see projects that you've created that were shared with you, things like that. Moving down into the templates, okay? What's great about these Canva Enterprise accounts, not only do you get the KW branded templates, you're also going to get to utilize every template available within the Canva platform, okay? So with that being said, these are not all going to be real estate specific. You have access to everything, okay? Under templates, you can of course go through the various templates. You can look at photos. These are going to be like stock type photos that you can use in designs. You also have the graphics, creators, if you're looking for a specific creator, maybe someone that you really like their designs and you want to continue to use theirs. You can, of course, follow them and find their designs. And then, of course, you can find starred content that you have previously saved. Again, with templates, what's really great is you are not only getting access to the KW branded templates, you're getting access to all templates available in Canva. And the other awesome benefit is if you ever had a Canva account and maybe you didn't have a pro account, you might find yourself restricted with certain designs you could or could not use, okay? You'll see this little crown on some of the designs. That's generally going to identify a pro item, meaning you would have had to have had a pro account in order to utilize that specific design. What is awesome about these new Canva accounts is that you get access to everything. You are getting all of the Canva Pro benefits within your account. Okay, so that crown that's there and it's not yellow, that means you can utilize this design if you'd like to. Okay, now within the templates, of course, you can search the different types of templates. You have posters, stories, posts. You can find flyers. If you keep going over, you'll find more. So you can come in here and find any type of template you might be looking for. And also create your own custom size as well. Now moving down, as you can see, there is a little crown with the brand. That means that is generally only offered through a pro account. So again, you're getting access to those pro benefits within your new KW account. Under brand, you can find the brand kits. Currently, there's not an option to create your own brand kit. However, you can use another section, which we cover in our 101, how you can kind of upload your own colors, things like that, to where you can save them and use them, including photos and things like that, so that you can keep them handy and use them in your designs. But within here, you will find the KW generic brand kit, the luxury brand kit, and the KW commercial brand kit. Okay, so those are going to have their different logos, colors, fonts, etc. Up above those brand kits, you're going to find the KW brand templates, okay? These are going to be templates that are specific to KW, okay? They've already been branded and colored and have logos on them. So it's going to make some of the editing a little bit smoother for you because a lot of the stuff is already done, okay? Again, you'll see some Thanksgiving ones. You've got postcards. You've got Instagram stories. They're going to have templates for everything. If you keep going through here, of course, there's business cards, email signatures. So you can come through and edit any of these to utilize yourself, okay? You can also, of course, use the owner category to kind of sort and filter through those to find what you're looking for. Next, we of course have Canva AI. We will take a look at this in a little bit, but this is a great way to generate different types of marketing, whether you are looking for a video, an image, whatever, you can ask Canva AI to create it for you. Okay, you get up to 5 videos per month that you can have the AI create for you. And you could type anything in here. Let's go ahead and just type one really quick. Create a, I know we're a little late for this. Let's just see what it comes up with. And you can, of course, get more specific on the type of design or marketing you're looking to create, and it will give you a more accurate creation once it does that, okay? So just keep that in mind. And it can take a minute. And there we go. So now we have a couple of different options. We could, of course, ask it to change these. We could have them create more. We could change the color theme. We could say that we're looking for a postcard. Whatever it is, you can put more information and it will create another design, okay? But this is great because then you could grab one of these and you could just start editing it and use it for yourself, okay? So you could plug in the information, whatever you want to plug in, and you can utilize that. So great tool for you guys to have access to and use if you were looking for minimal work that you have to do. You can kind of have it create something for you, okay? Excuse me. Moving down, the last thing we have is this is where you are definitely going to want to come in and make sure you are connected to your KW Keller Williams app, okay? Your Keller Williams app is going to allow you to pull in listing details. It's also going to allow you to pull in your profiles from command, okay? So making your marketing a lot easier and more streamlined. And again, we do go over that in our 101 class. If you missed that, you can check that out on how to get connected. All right. Let's go ahead and start creating a design though. So let's go back into brand and we're going to go to brand templates. And for today, we're going to use this one that I have starred, but if you don't have it starred, you can just kind of scroll through these. We're looking for a postcard. You'll find one if you keep going. There's a couple, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one that I've starred. And it's just a classic for sale postcard. So we're going to go ahead and edit this. So when we click on that, it lets us know it's created by KWRI. It was edited 3 months ago. We can then go ahead and share it, star it, or we could just go ahead and use it. Okay, so we're going to hit use this brand template. And now we're going to go ahead and start customizing this. Okay, so same as any other design you're going to create within Canva. It's all pretty much the same throughout. Um, Now, as you can see down here, we have our Keller Williams app. Again, this is how we connect that. Oops, and it looks like it's having me sign in. Give me 1 second. I was signed in. It will occasionally log you out, so if you see that, not to worry, just go ahead and sign in with your command logins. I'm surprised it's having me sign in. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Where did my little pop-up go? All right, guys, so I'm just needing to grab a code. 1 minute. So of course, if you are trying to log in, it is going to generally prompt you to get that code as well. So just keep that in mind. Um, it's just those new security measures. All right. Once I'm connecting, it is prompting me similar to if I was connecting this for the first time. So if you encounter this, that's okay. You're just going to go ahead and agree, and then it's going to go ahead and connect that for you. Okay. Now we have our Keller Williams app connected. Now it's red. We can see it a little bit better. This is where we can now pull in listings. It's also where we can pull in our profiles, okay? So again, sorry it had me do that, but also a great little way for us to take a look at it together. So you guys can kind of see that process. All right, so let's go ahead and start editing this. So I did not get a listing. Let's just go ahead and see if we can search one. And of course, you can search my listings or all listings. I'm actually just going to go ahead and look through here and grab one. We're going to grab this one right here. So once you find your listing, and of course you can search by the address, the zip code. You can also search by the MLS. Again, you can also search by your listings only or all. So if you are doing a open house for someone else or helping someone else with marketing, you can of course find that either way. Once you find your listing that you are looking to create marketing for, you can go ahead and start plugging it in with the details in the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and grab and drag and drop this over until I can see it in that space. And then it's going to put that photo in that exact little space. And once I do that, if I want to adjust or crop this a little bit more, I certainly can. Just go ahead and double click on that like you would with any other design. And you can go ahead and move that around. Once you have it how you want it, you can go ahead and just click off of it, and it's going to put your photo exactly how you want it. Now, some other cool tools is you're going to see up here, we have the option to edit the photo if we wanted to remove a background, if we wanted to use the eraser. These are great tools. So Magic Eraser, again, was a pro benefit, but now you also have access to that, which is going to let you come in and remove stuff. You can change your brush size. Let's go ahead and see if we can remove this hose from the picture. And let's just do erase. So if you have a photo, there it is, it's gone. So that's a great tool if you want to kind of clean up your photo a little bit. Maybe there's something in there you want to remove. There's also a logo down here. Just for today, we're going to also take a look at removing that. Let's go ahead and erase. Now, of course, you also have the option to use a couple of different ways to erase that. You can click and erase something. So if we want to try what those look like, we can do the click instead. Let's go ahead and click right here, see if it captures that. There it goes. And erase. And there we go. So let's erase that as well. So you can kind of play around it with it, see whichever way you prefer it. I think it looks a little bit weird there, so I'm gonna actually undo that and go back to the little brush. I think it was a little bit cleaner with the brush. So great options, great tools. There's of course, if you keep going over, text, foreground. So a couple other ways to do it. It looks like there's actually a little part of that here too. So we'll go ahead and clip that out. There we go. So now our hose is completely gone. So Magic Eraser, great tool to kind of clean those photos up. Of course, you can edit. Edit is also going to allow you to edit the photo. There's some Magic Studio tools, again, erasers. You can also add some filters. So if you want to try to make your photo look a little bit different, change the brightness or that filter on it, you certainly can. But there's a ton of other options as well. If you keep going down, there's some other effects, apps, things like that. So lots of tools for editing your photo, okay? I'm going to go back over. You can also turn down the brightness of those, how much those change, and really kind of play around with it, okay? Let's see, there is a question. Let me take a quick look. Can you resize? If you're wanting to resize something, you can use the option up here to resize. It should allow you to, because again, that is a pro, but it's included with your account. Alrighty, other things. Let's go ahead and keep editing this. So let's say we want to change this background color. Maybe we don't want it to be white. We could click up here and we could change the color. We can make it black. We can make it gray. Whatever color you want to. Let's go ahead and do this lighter gray. Let's maybe change our font here. Let's do black. Let's make it bold. Let's go back to our listing. We can grab our listing details. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our address. Again, if we drag and drop, it's going to plug that into that little box. Let's also go ahead and add our sales price. Let's just move that up here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Let's see what size we got here. 24. Let's just make these the same. There we go. And you'll see as you drag things around, you're going to see little lines that pop up. That's going to kind of help you identify if it's the same, like if it's centered, if it's lining up correctly. So that's a great tool to use as you drag things around to make sure that they are lined up and kind of centered the same. Okay. If we wanted to change this red down here, let's say we want to make that black, you can change that as well. So you can kind of play around with this and really make it your own, even though it is a template, okay? You can still customize it. We do always recommend making sure you check in with your Market Center staff for any local compliance you may want to follow, but you're free to come in here and adjust these templates based on your brand, what you're looking for, things like that, okay? What's cool is you can also change the position. So let's say we wanted to add let's just go ahead and add a box here. Let's come to elements. Let's get a rectangle. We're just going to use the square. Let's say instead of changing this whole color, we just wanted to change part of it. We could do that. Make this black. And now we can change our text, make it white. Also, if this square was on top of ours, we could move it back. So that's a great tool. You can also move backwards. So you can, like I said, really come in here and play around with these, make them your own. Now for our logo, we're going to come back to our Keller Williams. This should be under your profile as long as your marketing profile has been updated. You should be able to come in and find your Market Center logo and swap it out, okay? So we're going to go ahead and, for whatever reason, logos don't swap very well, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this. We're just going to add a new one to the top. And I don't think we have a white one. That's okay, we'll just leave this one for now. Since that one is kind of hard to see, let's go ahead and throw one of these squares in here. We're going to move this position back now. And let's make that one white, just so we can see that logo really clear. And we may have a filter over the top. Oh yeah, we do. So we've got this kind of like filter here that you can see. It's like a gradient. You can remove that or leave it, but that's what's causing that box to look darker. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that for this specific postcard. Okay. All right, so now we've got the front of our postcard. We can also go to the back of our postcard and do the same thing. So let's go ahead and we didn't have to swap out our logo if we didn't want to since it is on the back, but I did go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one and we will just go ahead and add a new one right up here. Again, we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. And go ahead and swap out our photo. Now again, you should be able to pull this from your marketing profile. I have Scott right here. You can also add those photos to your uploads, okay? So you're seeing uploads. This is a great way to kind of add your own photos since you can't do a brand kit. You can add your own photos or logos here temporarily, and you can pull them in that way, okay? So we're actually going to go ahead and just replace Scott here. I'm going to double click and make that a little bit bigger, move it around. Go ahead and click here and put in, I'm going to take listing agent off and just put Scott Leroy. Now we're going to go ahead and edit our number. Again, these will all be in the marketing profile. Woo. All right, so now we've got our whole, oh, I cannot type today, goodness. No, really can't type. All right, now we've got all of our information updated and correct. If you wanted to add a QR code here, that's a great resource to use. There is some apps for QR codes that you can look through to also connect those. So again, great tools to use. I don't think we have any QR codes in here, but if you did have a QR code, this would be a great place to add it, okay? Let me take a quick look at the chat really. Okay. The question about adding a dusk sky, I'm not going to do that today just because that can take a little bit longer. Usually you're using like AI or something to recreate the photo. If we have time at the end, I can take a look at it. Yes, you should be able to remove backgrounds from photos as well by using the background remover. Now we'll remove that. It's a pretty quick one. Sometimes it may not crop it exactly as you want it, so you may have to kind of work with that. As you can see, it didn't remove this item. You could probably use the AI tool to remove that as well if you wanted to. All right, so that is our design, okay? Now, once our design is created, we've got both front and back. Now we can save this and share this, okay? So if we wanted to download this, you click the share option. There are quite a few options when it comes to sharing. You can download this, which we are going to do. We're going to use it for our postcard. So I'm going to do PDF standard. And I'm going to go ahead and do one page at a time. So we're going to do the front page. And then we're going to do the back page. I just like to not have to pull it out of a folder. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Otherwise, you kind of have to extract it from the folder. And I just don't want to do that. So we'll have both of them downloaded. Other options you have, you can share this with KW Associates. You can share it with anyone that you're sharing the link with that could access it. So there's a few different options if you're sharing it. You can also find a public link. You can print it with Canva. That's another great tool if you're wanting to mail these out yourself and share to Instagram. You can use a template link. This is a great one. This is also a pro benefit. So you could take this link if you have someone on your team or in your office and you want to share this template with them, but you don't want them actually editing your template. This will allow them to have their own copy of that and create their own version of it. Okay, so lots of options there. There's also the See All, which is going to give you even more options. Copy clipboard, move, send a phone, website, Again, more download options, add it to your Google Drive. So tons of options when it comes to sharing this design once it's created. Um, we are going to quickly take a look at how to add this into Command and use it for a direct mailer, and then we're going to come back and create another design in here. So I'm already signed into Command. Once we are in Command and we have downloaded our design, you do want to download that. We're going to come into Campaigns. And once we're in campaigns, we're going to go to direct mailers, and you do not have to come here. You could just hit create and do direct mail. We're going to go ahead and name this. I'm just going to name it class 1125. You could do advertise a listing. You could do other, whatever is the goal that matches what your purpose of this flyer or postcard is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do advertise listing, and we're going to hit create. Now it's asking me which listing. I've already created a design, so I don't need to pull in the listing. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then we're going to come straight down to content. You would need your listing if you were using the default command templates, but we are uploading our own custom template that we've created outside. So we do not need to put in the address or any of that. So we're going to come straight to upload. And we're going to come down here to browse. And give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. We're going to go ahead and grab the front. And you may encounter this if the size of the postcard you created is not exactly, you may encounter this. So let's go ahead and try this resize. I haven't used this, so bear with me a moment. Let's go ahead and do this size here. Let's do custom size. We want to do pixels. Oh, it changed it. Okay, 2775. All right, so now we have our sizing correct, and we're going to go ahead and resize the design. All right, page is resized. Now, once we've resized it, we're going to have to download it again. So extra step here. That's okay, because we got to take a look at that resize together. And download the back as well. All right, now let's try that again. Let me pull in my front. Hopefully it's just thinking really hard. Oh, did I download the wrong one? So sorry, you guys. No, that should be right. I close this because I got 2 of these. I'm wondering if it's because it says it's still resizing, but it looked like it resized it. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna leave it as a PNG. We're gonna just do the front really quick. It does not have to be a PDF for you to move it into Command, even though you're printing it, so you can do it as a PNG. All right, let's try that. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go that way. We'll do the back one as well. Again, we're gonna leave it as PNG for this one. Download. There we go. All right, so now we have our postcard uploaded. We can view the front and the back. Okay, make sure we like it. Then we can kind of go through the rest of this market center targeting, and then we'll go into configure targeting. We're not going to go through all of that. We do have a class that goes over how to fully create and send a direct mailer, but this is just how you would move it from the Canva platform into command so that you can go ahead and create and send that. Okay, so once you have that, I'm going to go ahead and save draft, but you would just go through the rest of these and go to configure targeting. That would allow you to determine where you're sending it and pay for it and send it. I'm going to go ahead and save the draft. I'm not sure why it still says resize, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to our home page. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a different type of design this time. Again, we're going to go into brand. I like to find the KW branded items already, so we're going to go back to brand templates. And I also have this one favorited, but it is the top option right here as well that I'm seeing. It may be different on your screen based on what you've created, but we're going to go ahead and use this white box client testimonial. As you can see, this is for a story, Instagram story. So if you're wanting to create an Instagram story about something your client said about you, this would be a great little template to go ahead and use. So I'm going to go ahead and click Use Brand Template. And now we can come in and start editing this. Now, as you can see, it's currently a little 5-second video. Now you could make this longer. You can go ahead and drag this. Oh, and I'm doing it incorrect. There we go. You can drag this over if you want it to be a little bit longer. That is up to you. I believe Instagram can go up to 3 minutes, but usually the shorter, the better. You don't want it to be too long. You kind of lose people's attention at that point. But this one is currently pretty simple. You can add animation to it. So currently it's kind of just a quick little video. It doesn't really do anything. It's basically just a picture. But what is cool is you can kind of edit this to add some animation if you'd like to. So let's go ahead and start editing this. So let's go ahead and grab the text up here. So just toot my own horn here. Let's go ahead and just type that. Let's go ahead and say this is John Smith instead of John Doe. Again, can't type when I'm teaching class for whatever reason. As we're clicking on these though, you're going to see some options at the top. We can of course make the text a little bigger if we want to. We could change the font, the color. We can also kind of take a look at these effects, okay? So if you want to add some effects to it, you can do that here. The other option is of course to animate it. If you're using this for an Instagram story, animation is going to be a great tool, okay? You can decide what you want that to look like. You have the typewriter, you have the shift. You can do it at both entering and on exit. That means when they're clicking onto it or leaving it. You can do it by character or by word as to how it shows. You can change your speed, of course, if you want it to go a little bit slower. Let's go to character. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So you can animate that. Again, some other options if you wanted to play around with it, however you like it. There are a ton of options here, okay? We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go back to the typewriter. You can also remove the animation after, but as you can see, there's a lot of options here to kind of play around with it and get it to do whatever you want it to do, whatever you like and looks appealing to you when you create that, okay? Of course, we want to swap out our logo. Again, I never have success in swapping the logo, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. And then we're going to go to our brand and our profiles again, and we're going to go ahead and grab that logo. We're going to add it down here. And again, as always, make sure you are following whatever compliance you need to be following in your local office. If you have a photo of your clients or a different photo that you'd like to use, you can, of course, swap out that photo if you want to. You can change it. You can find a different stock photo if you want. There's a lot of options, okay? So if you wanted to look through photos, you can come in here, find photos. If you find a different one, let's just say real estate, see what it comes up with. Let's go ahead and swap. Maybe not the best photo, but Just a little example of how you can kind of switch that. Oops, I duplicated it. Didn't want to do that. Here we go. So just another option. You, of course, can make this box smaller too. You can remove it. These are your designs. So again, get creative with it. You can kind of play it so you can see what that looks like. Oops. Trying to bring my play button back to start it over. And again, this video is kind of long if we're stopping our animation. So if our animation stops here, we probably want to shorten our video. Oops. There we go. Because if your animation stops and it's just a still, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But again, up to you. It's your video, it's your marketing. All right, so that would be our little video. Now, once we have that created, again, you're going to share it in the same way. You can download and then add it. You can also come in here and go ahead and go straight to your Instagram and post it. There are other options as well. Send to your phone. That would be a great way if you want to just do it directly from your phone. We go back to see less. If you are downloading this and posting it from whatever you're on, you want to make sure you leave it as the MP4 video, okay? Because otherwise the animation is going to be removed if you do it as a JPEG or something else, okay? So definitely leave it as the MP4. You may also be able to get away with the GIF since it's no sound. But since it's on MP4 already, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. All right, that is our short little video. I don't see any more questions coming in. One second here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go back down. And I just want to point out your projects that you just created should appear in your recents, okay? You should be able to find those under your home, under recents. You can also find those under your projects. They should appear in your recents as well. Up here, again, you can star those and favorite them. You can also add them into folders if you're going to be using them frequently. Makes it a little bit easier for you to stay organized and find them quickly. So definitely make sure you're keeping your board kind of how you want it. Now, the next little item that we're going to take a look at, since we cannot currently create brand kits, we found kind of a neat way to go ahead and do that within the command or in the Canva account by looking for like a brand kit or a mood board. So there's a few different options. This will allow you to kind of really build your brand. So having a brand kit or mood board for your business is always a good idea. We'll go ahead and grab this top one. As you can see, it gives us a place for your logo. It gives us a place to find the colors that you want to use for your business. Obviously, you may not use the mood board at the bottom. You can always remove those. Or whatever you'd like to do there. You could add in the headshot and photos you're using frequently. But again, it gives you a great place to use your fonts, your colors, and really just get yourself a brand to build that consistency. So we're going to go ahead and use this. So you could come in here and go ahead and add in your logos. So you could add your KW logo here if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and grab that from the profiles. I'm just going to grab the one right here at the top. We're going to go ahead and remove where it says main logo, and we're just going to put that here. And then, of course, if you have your own branded logo, I don't think Scott has his in here. I don't see it. Let's see if I can snag it from this website. So again, if you have your own brand, you could grab that and pull that in. This is not the clearest because I just saved it really quickly. But then you could start building your brand colors. So if you had your own custom logo created, you could then pull in colors from that logo by using the little dropper. That would be a great way to pull those in. So if you wanted to grab the exact red, you also then have the code here that you could go ahead and copy, and you can paste that down here so you have the exact code, okay? Um, there we go, expand that a little bit. We can move on to the next one. Um, Again, same thing. We could go ahead and use our dropper. We can find our exact color. We can get the code from that, plug that in. This is, like I said, great way to build your own brand colors. You can do that in Command currently, but since it's not available in here just yet, hopefully that is coming. This would be a great way to be able to do that again, just to make sure that you have that consistency in your marketing. And you can add as many colors as you want. If you have extras that maybe you don't want to use, you can go ahead and delete those. You want to ungroup that to delete just that section. We're just gonna pick a random color for this last one. Let's just use our dropper. Let's go pink. There we go. Um, and then again, same thing for the fonts. You could come in and grab your own fonts, plug them in, and then you can save this to your uploads. So then you could easily pull those colors directly into whatever marketing you're creating. They're going to be right here to where you can grab those colors and use them in your marketing. So not the brand kit, but another great alternative to be able to use those and create that. Let me take a quick look at the chat just to see what we've got in here. I didn't add music, but it did have an option. I can't play sound when I'm on, like music from my computer when I'm on my Zoom. It messes with the sound, so you wouldn't have been able to hear it if I tried to do it. How to share animated template by phone. Helen, are you meaning by the share button up here? The share to phone option here. What's it? Send to phone. Yes, our recording will be on the YouTube channel, and you can also view the last one if you want to. It should be pretty accurate still. Send to phone is going to allow you to scan it. So it's really simple. You just get out your phone, open your camera, and scan that QR code, and it will pop it up for you. So it should be very simple. There are a couple other options. You can also send it to your email, but I think the QR code is probably the quickest and the easiest. All right, so once we have this created, again, great way to add this to your upload so that you can use your brand colors, your brand logos, your fonts, and just have them all readily available. Let's go ahead and go back to our home. All right, we have a little bit of time left. So the last thing I want to just cover is, again, we've kind of looked at this a little bit, but I just want to point out that you have access to all of the templates, okay? So where if you are looking for anything, if you want to post testimonials and you are looking for a different image or graphic or reel that is not one that shows up under KW, again, you can come in here and search for all of them. They do not have to be KW ones in order for you to utilize them. You can change the category if you're looking for another one that may go for a story. You can come in and take a look at those. You can sort them and filter them. Mobile video, that's another great one if you're wanting to do more of a real type video. You can even play these and see what they look like. So they kind of move around when you're in here. So other great options. I know someone asked about music. You can add music. Believe it had an option down here to add sound. I'm just not sure what all audio they have available on here as well. It looks like you can pretty much look at anything. So you can also do the voice recorder, AI voice. So lots of options with adding sound to a video. Okay. Great question on that one. You can also find soft background music. which would be nice. You can kind of add that in there. And of course, like I said, even though you're picking one like this, you could still come in and select your own colors to add in here. Let's say we want to make this more KW. Oh gosh, these are all little buttons. So even though it's not KW, you can come in and adjust it to make it more of a KW vibe. Or again, whatever colors you have and use, you can come in and edit that, okay? And as you can see, the more animation and things that you add to a video, the more lines you're gonna have, and kind of how that pulls and plays. When it comes to these type of videos, I always find that it's easier to find one you like than to recreate it. But if you are good with that stuff and want to play around and have fun with it, that's a great way to kind of learn this stuff is to kind of play with this and create your own. And this would be the same way to share it. You can, of course, download, send a phone, go straight to Instagram. It's going to have you connect. So if you're already connected, it should let you go ahead and post. But yeah. Take a quick look at the chat. Yeah, if you have additional questions, our email is always available to you guys. Our email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. We're hoping to have more advanced Canva classes coming in the future too. Hopefully going over more of these videos, a little bit more in depth, things like that. But yeah, any questions you have, definitely email us. We are here to help. Um, Yes, you should be able to upload your own video, same as you would upload a photo under the upload section. You should be able to do the same thing. So if you were coming in and creating blank, if you had a video, you can go ahead and hit upload. It should allow you to upload a file, whether that be a video or not. It should allow you to do it the same way. All right, guys, we have about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close down the recording. I'm going to stay here and answer any questions if there's anything extra you guys would like to see. Also, this is a newer class, so if there's something you'd like us to see or something you'd like to see in this class in the future, we'd love to hear that too, so definitely let me know. And again, we're trying to build out some more Canva classes, so anything you guys have, definitely let me know. But again, I'm going to go ahead and quit recording and stick around for questions. So if you have more, drop those in and we'll go through those.